Speaking of gaming, GameStop has chimed in on Xbox's supposed, still, this is a rumor, this isn't substantiated, that both Sony and Microsoft um, are going to have lockouts on pre-owned games. Jim Sterling chimed in on this, but I'll tell you why this is extra interesting when it comes to Microsoft. GameStop, North America's most powerful games retailer, has addressed rumors that the next Xbox shutting out the used game market. The seller of secondhand games believes Microsoft's next system will hurt if it introduces codes that tie the games to a single system. Quote, "We know the desire to purchase the next-gen consoles would be significantly diminished if the new consoles were to prohibit playing pre-owned games, limit portability, or not play new physical games," said a GameStop rep talking to Bloomberg. With 46% of its profits generated from used game sales, GameStop evidently has a vested interest, and the interest may be crucial to Microsoft, though, as the retailer is a viable ally and a new console would, benefit from its support. Destroying GameStop's ability to reliably profit from your machine is not a way to get that support. Well, this is interesting for two reasons. Notice they're referring to Microsoft, but they're not referring to Sony. Here's why. Microsoft, from what I know from my manager friend at GameStop, Microsoft is in bed with GameStop, okay? 60%, at least by my manager friend's estimations, of digital content for Microsoft's consoles tends to be bought at GameStop. In fact, they have a system now where they can look up on Xbox Live the exact point value of a certain piece of DLC or a certain avatar item, and you can literally buy that many points to spend on Microsoft's servers, or at least with the Xbox. They're like this, Microsoft and GameStop, and this would absolutely be a stab in the back of GameStop. But, see, what they're not saying is, I've already asked my manager about this. He's very well versed in GameStop. And actually, this will also be an addendum to a story I did earlier in the week. If secondhand games were to go the way of the dodo, despite what this CEO is saying, and I'm sure that it's just a stunt. So probably take this story as it is, as a grain of salt in terms of the article that I just read, but not this part. GameStop would go full digital. I mean, granted, they would sell the old games for the old systems for X amount of time, obviously. And especially because you have a market that's not ready for next gen. You don't have people buying a Wii U en masse because they have a Wii, and a lot of them are looking to get a new Wii U. Some of them are looking at the specs of the Wii U and realizing that they have to save for the deluxe model because the basic model's not worth jack. And then there's economics. Even I'm getting hit with economics. I'm literally having to bake my own bread, okay? And then I'm scrounging up whatever pennies I can make from odd jobs that don't automatically go to paying for my living costs and expenses to going to this Wii U project. That's why I don't have the Wii U right now. Durr. But even then, when I get the Wii U, then what? I'm not going to have money for games. That's kind of why getting the deluxe model, which includes Nintendo Land, will at least keep me and my son going for quite a while. I won't have to worry about getting a new game for quite some time. But yeah, GameStop would sell the old systems and things, and they would survive and thrive for quite a long time with the new 360 coming out and the PS4 possibly coming out this year. And I could care less about when these systems are coming out because I don't care about them to begin with. But I digress. So there you have it. But my little addendum, oh yes, yes. Basically, certain markets where GameStop was at, and you can call this spin, I don't care. They seem very upbeat and optimistic. In fact, they think that they're going to expand and build more stores, even in my area, which has 4 stores within a stone's throw away of each other. But basically, they're just trimming the fat. The stores that are not doing well are being closed off. GameStop itself is not going out of business. So it was a tad presumptuous. I was actually wrong on my talk that this was a sign of the times to a degree. But still factoring in our socioeconomic issues right now and our economy as a whole and how very few of us, well, not very few of us, excuse me, how we're not all shelling out $60 per game anymore. That they almost cannot ask us for $60 per game anymore because we just don't have it. We don't have that entertainment budget that we once had. Some of us are downgrading jobs. Some of us are shifting jobs. Some of us are training for jobs. But basically put, GameStop's in no danger. They're just reshifting things, and then they're going to build in places where they know there's a demand for their services. So for those who were huzzahing about the death of GameStop, well, you're going to have to wait a little bit longer to pop out that bottle of champagne because they're not going anywhere for quite a long time, and they have so many backup business plans that it's not likely they'll die at all. They'll just go completely digital. Probably most brick and mortar stores will be closed down, save for a few where you could physically buy cards that have points or other digital media because they make a lot of money off that. If they didn't, Microsoft wouldn't want to have anything to do with GameStop, but they do. They do in a big way. But it adds fuel to the idea that it's not likely that that Microsoft wants to lose GameStop. Not that they necessarily would lose GameStop, but GameStop would not be too kind if they suddenly just said, you know what, we've been partners for so long, but screw your secondhand games.